Hello, everybody, and welcome to Thrive. Today we thrive in wealth, which is purpose and freedom. And I have the amazing girl boss, serial entrepreneur, and growth hacker, Lauren Dallas, with us. Today, I want to get very practical. There's this concept that email marketing died a long time ago. Some people believe that, some people absolutely believe in email marketing. What is the truth around email marketing?
I would say that data never lies, and email marketing can absolutely be one of the most profitable digital marketing channels for your business. And so it's not that email is better than social, it is that the two have to go hand in hand. You build your brand, you build your connection on social, but you convert to lead and you have your sales off social media.
That's so interesting, because I think so many people don't focus on email lists anymore because they think, no, I'm just going to push it through social media. But actually, social media is how you build part of the relationship by drawing them in and the interaction and everything. But the real selling, you're saying, the majority of it actually still happens via email. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Thrive. Today we thrive in wealth, which is purpose and freedom. And I have the amazing girl boss, serial entrepreneur, and growth hacker, Lauren Dallas, with us. I'm so thrilled to have you here. How are you doing today, Lauren?
Oh, thank you. I'm always so happy to be here. I am doing very well. Nothing really changes week on week, but really happy. In the UK, the restrictions are opening up quite a lot as well. So
good.
Being able to move around and can't wait.
That's so great. And I've heard that they're actually opening train stations as well around Europe, so you can actually start connecting now.
Yeah, absolutely. Some European countries are opening their borders. So my co-founder, Susana, actually lives in Berlin. I think I mentioned a few weeks ago. And in the last 2 years, we've had one day together. So I'm quite excited to be able to get over there and actually have some physical time working together on our business.
It makes such a difference, doesn't it? I mean, it's all great being virtual, but that physical presence does make a difference.
Absolutely. Also, I'm a very tangible person. I'm like, if you give me a Post-it, I will be happy. I need whiteboards, Post-its, butcher's paper, and that's hard to replicate online.
Yeah, definitely. So I know that you are, I think, almost now halfway through your business school that we spoke about a few weeks ago. And we are today, you're going to be launching another one, and you are going to be doing a webinar. So we will chat about that at the end of this session today, just so that people know where to find the link so that they can go and book for that. For those of you that don't know, Lauren does a 1-hour masterclass on the 4 different areas of your business and that you need to have to take it from idea into a 6-figure salary. So we will be chatting a little bit more about that. But today I want to get very practical. There's this concept that email marketing died a long time ago. Some people believe that, some people absolutely believe in email marketing. What is the truth around email marketing?
I would say that data never lies, and email marketing can absolutely be one of the most profitable digital marketing channels for your business. I am a social media coach, so it pains me to say this, but if we think about the audiences, your social media followers versus your email subscribers, there is a fundamental difference, and that is that you own your email list. It is an asset for your business. You own it. You can contact them over and over again. Your social media following is called an earned audience. You have earned those followers by working so hard, sharing content, doing lives, but you don't own them. And so we know, and you guys know, because I know a lot of you are already doing things on your social pages. you're not reaching 100% of your audience every time you post. You're perhaps reaching 30% on Instagram, on Facebook, maybe you're reaching 5%. Tomorrow, Facebook could say, I'm going to make you pay for everyone. And probably that will happen as the world gets more and more competitive. And so it's not that email is better than social. It is that the two have to go hand in hand. You build your brand, you build your connection on social, but you convert to lead and you have your sales off social media. Most businesses do not sell on the social media platform itself. It's more possible for product-based businesses, but for everyone else, you need to have your email marketing going. And if you compare like the cost of running ongoing paid ads versus sending an automated email sequence, you're saving a hell of a lot of money if you do spend time building up that email list.
So that's so interesting, because I think so many people don't focus on email lists anymore because they think, no, I'm just going to push it through social media. But actually, social media is how you build part of the relationship by drawing them in and the interaction and everything. But the real selling, you're saying, the majority of it actually still happens via email.
Absolutely. You know, most of us do not have what we would call a painkiller business or a product or service. A painkiller is one where you are solving a direct pain that someone is experiencing. Like, I have a headache, you can sell me aspirin. Simple, easy, transactional. Most of our businesses are not like that. We have what's called a vitamin. Like, it's nice, it does have benefit, of course, but you need to educate your audience on what the benefit is so they understand they do have the pain and then they want to buy. So it is, for most of us, a two-step sales process. And so social media does the educational piece, the resonance, the trust building. Email and webinars and all of the beautiful things around the off-social funnels that you can build, that does the selling.
So that's such a great way of describing it, the painkiller versus the vitamin. The painkiller you absolutely need when you have a headache. The vitamin is something that you do to really supplement your life, to make your life better on a long-term incremental basis. So I'd love to hear from you guys, everybody that's online. And I see that we've got people tuning in from all over the world, as always. So welcome, welcome, welcome to all of you. Let me know where in the world you're tuning in from. Just type it in the comments below. And then also let me know if your business is a vitamin or if it's a painkiller, because I think those two things are two different ways that you also need to kind of approach your marketing and your business. So it would be really interesting to see. And whether you're watching this live or whether you're watching a recording of this, I really do go back and read the comments. So please let us know. And if you find that this would be interesting for one of your friends, just tag them in the comments below so that they can join the conversation. So then when it comes to email marketing, I know that I feel often like overwhelmed because I just get so many emails. What are the rules there? What is the right way of doing it? Our inboxes are so cluttered today. So what would be your strategy there?
So I think that's a great question. And it almost links in with another question I often hear when we're talking about email. And that is like, how many times should I be sending and when? And what I would say is, of course, your inbox is cluttered. But if you're reaching people with the right message at the right time, then it's going to be the email that they open. Open rates have not substantially declined in the past couple of years if you're doing your email marketing well. So what I would say is there's two schools of thought on how often you should send emails. One is probably what I would call the very hardcore American style. Okay. And it comes from this book, 10X Yourself, or whatever it's called, the 10X rule. And in this book, the author says you should send an email every day to your audience, and if they don't open it, then you resend it to those people with a different subject line. So in any given day, you could be reaching people once or twice. He says that you should be trying to get the wrong people to unsubscribe, because only the people who handle that amount of messaging from you and are engaged, those people are ultimately going to buy from you. So you're self-cleansing your list. That's an interesting approach. My preferred style is a little less hardcore, and that is to send every 2 to 3 days. And what I've noticed is if you send too much, people just reply and tell you. They're like, you are sending way too many emails, and then you can slow it down. But I think twice a week, if you can handle it, is a great cadence to stay top of mind, top of the inbox. The second tip I would give is keep in mind the different sections of your inbox now. For those using Gmail, this will be very familiar. We have a primary, we have a social, we have a promotions. If you are sending and it's landing in promotions, then people are opening it less. It's getting lost in all of the clutter, all of the the spam that's not spam, but we know it's spam, you know?
Yeah.
So what you can do to land in primary is write your emails from a personal perspective. So rather than being like a corporate newsletter or something that's so clearly automated and not relevant to like the current days or the pain that your customer is facing, write it like a person, colloquial subject lines, personalize the name. Those are more likely to land in primary, and they're more likely to be opened and engaged with.
Okay, so that's a really good tip. So you're saying twice a week. Would that be like a Tuesday and a Friday, or a Monday and a Thursday? What are the better days to send these emails on?
So we've actually found that Mondays used to be great, but now everyone's sending on a Monday. We're getting great traction on a Tuesday morning. But as with anything, it's about testing and seeing when your audience is online. When we have that cadence, if you're sending a newsletter, it's important to always send it at the same day and time, or roughly. We, for example, at Future Females have what's called our Friday Female, and our audience always knows Friday morning this will land in their inbox. When you set up your email automation properly for your business, it would be you set up what's called an email sequence. So instead of me sending on a Tuesday and me sending on a Friday, if you join my business on a Monday, you get sent Monday, Wednesday. If someone else joins on a Tuesday, they get sent Tuesday, Thursday. So now the right email tools will tailor the sends to when you interacted with me, not when I think I should send to you. So it's a lot more engaging that way.
Amazing. So what are these tools? How do you choose the right tool for you?
My best advice here is invest in a good email automation tool from day one. Nothing is more annoying, and I've done it 4 times, than moving your lists from one to the next. You lose all of the history of the contact of those people. You lose the segments. You lose a lot of your data. I thought when I started off in business, I could just do it on the cheap. And sometimes you don't have an option, but the amount of legwork later to make that transition is so frustrating. It's probably the most difficult tool to change your mind on later.
Sure.
So the 2 I would suggest, and I like best, is ConvertKit. That's what we use as a business, and ActiveCampaign, which is also very good. HubSpot is amazing, but a lot more expensive.
Okay, so those are great. I see that some people are saying that they are vitamins, and others are saying that Jody from Australia is saying she's a painkiller. Jody, what is your business as a painkiller? I would really like to know. Lauren is saying, I agree, staying on top of mind is so powerful, but too much can also be rather annoying. So how do you balance that? Because I think it's also probably the amount you're sending them within the email, isn't it?
So, I mean, firstly, it's always going to feel like more for you because you're seeing every email. Most people won't probably open every email that you send. So I would say stick to the cadence I said. If you can do 2 a week, or if you're setting up an automation, a good rule of thumb is like you start more frequently and then you space it out. So if someone joins your business, you might send them an email on day 1, day 2, day 4, day 7, day 11, day 15, and space it out over time. People will reply and let you know if it's getting annoying. Your unsubscribe rate that's a key indicator for you. We can't take it personally. It's just a really good sign that we either need to change the content or we need to change the frequency.
Okay. And then we touched on subject line. You were saying the very hard sort of American rule is kind of just like go in there, and then change the subject line. Subject lines for me are so important. I'm one of those sensitive people. So if I see urgent, something like that, like I actually unsubscribe because I'm like, don't do that because that panics me, so don't do that to me. But what are the types of subject lines then that are subject lines that do catch your eye in the right way, that aren't making people feel anxious? Because I do think that anxiety that you're talking about, Lauren, not you, Lauren from Portugal, is that you feel overwhelmed because there's this urgency to act, right? Otherwise, you're going to lose out. And so it's such a delicate balance, isn't it, for businesses? Because you need people to actually take action because you do have some form of deadline for something, but you also don't want to freak them out. So how do you find that balance?
I think if we're speaking specifically about subject lines, the best thing to do is to test. And a lot of the tools you can use now, you can actually A/B test your subject line. So you could perhaps do one that's very like personal, soft sell, and one that's like urgent, and get a feel, if you want, get a feel for what your audience responds to. We've seen 3 things working very well. One is for our business, if we include an emoji, our open rate goes up. And I almost hate to say that, but it is the reality of our situation. So if it makes sense for your brand and your personality, consider including an emoji. The second thing that works well is if we're delivering something of value in the email, which we would often try to do, but let's say we're delivering a free ebook, then it's good practice to say in the subject line, and we use like parentheses at the start, free ebook, and then the name of it, or like webinar invitation, and then the name. So people know what they're getting. That actually is good for click-through rate as well. The wrong people won't open it, and the right people will, so it follows through. And the third thing that works really well is, as with everything in email marketing, keeping it personal. So if you can write your subject line like you might write a personal email, then that performs well. It was the most opened subject line ever is "Hey," and it was from the Obama election campaign, actually. And then obviously I leveraged that and have tested it. And it worked well. Works really well. The other one that's worked really well in our business is you can put people's name not just in the "Hi, Lauren," but in the subject line. So we do, "How are you doing, Lauren?" And that email is one we typically automate, but there's nothing to click on. It's purely a response, and that picks up a conversation then with our audience.
Nice. So what about speed bumps along the way? Like, what are the kind of speed bumps that people should look out for, when they are doing all this testing and setting up this new system? Because it sounds like I've been doing it wrong. So this is great information for me, because I have been using a free platform. But what you're saying is I should actually change over now, because all of the open rates, all of that history of what my clients are actually doing is going to be lost now once I move over to another system. So
yeah. So I think starting with the right system, starting with the wrong system would be a massive roadblock even. Like you're just going to stop, spend a week minimum transitioning and be super frustrated. So the right system, you don't have to test too many things at once as well. You're not going to learn from one email send whether it is the right time of day for you, the best open, the best subject line, good content, the right sender, etc. So just if you are testing, test A/B, like one thing at a time. Send at 10, send at 11, split your audience and see which gets opened most. That's good practice, not just for email, but for everything. And I think the other thing, but we have talked about it, is the value of your email list is huge for you. I said at the start, it's an asset. There's actually a rule of thumb that says every 1,000 subscribers on your email, every 100 subscribers on your email list should equate to $1 of revenue for your business. So if you have 20,000 subscribers, your business should be, rule of thumb, generating $20,000 if you're utilizing your email list correctly. And using it correctly means you're keeping it warm. Lead generation efforts, where you send people out an ebook, for example, and then they don't hear from you for 2 weeks, they go stale. They're not as engaged anymore. The best time to sell is as soon as you've delivered your value, and keeping that up. Once you set up your automation, you will see the highest open rate is on day one, and it typically peters out in a nice trending downward line. That's reality. That's how you probably engage with brands as well. So make sure you've kind of plugged the holes in your funnel before you start pushing people into your database.
That's such good. I'm seeing like lots of thumbs up going up there. So people are agreeing with what you're saying. It's obviously resonating hard with what you are saying right now. What about, I just want to ask you, it's 1 minute to 11. So I am going to howl. So as for the new people who are watching, this started as a thank you to all of the essential workers, just to thank them for everything that they were doing during lockdown. But now that we've gone beyond lockdown, it is now just simply to just activate positive energy in the world. And so what I do is I howl 3 times and then I say, thank you, more please, because there have been such incredible gifts that have come from this period of time. And there are incredible gifts that come into our lives every day. But the best way of bringing more of what you want into your life is by showing gratitude. And so here we go. Thank you, more, please. And I think if all of us did that and just had a good little giggle and felt good for a moment every day at 11, in whatever country you're in, it would just raise the whole planet's vibration. So thank you for entertaining my little crazy stint there, but I do it every morning at 11 o'clock. So I want to ask one more question, because I know it is 11, so we are going to finish now. But what about cold emailing lists? Because I know that those are illegal in a lot of countries. You're not allowed to buy databases and that sort of thing. But if you've got access to a database that is legitimate, let's say, but they've never heard from you specifically personally, what are the rules there? What is the engagement like? Is it worth doing?
Cool. Yeah, a really good question. I think there is a perception that cold emailing can no longer work. Like, it went out with cold calling, but it can work. I've seen a lot of our entrepreneurs. We actually have a training session on cold email outreach in our business school, and we help our entrepreneurs actually utilizing an automation tool called reply.io, and just working on how should this outreach look. So I think, as you said, the first thing is ensuring that you have like a qualified lead. Typically, these lists you can buy, you'll get a lot of like info at, hello at, all of the emails that are just like not going to be doing yourself a good service. So what I would suggest is build your own cold email list of like pre-qualified leads, like scrape from LinkedIn, look at trade shows, look at registrants for different events where the lists are public, get referrals. And then with cold emailing, it's all about showing the value, right? Actually, I was talking this morning about if you ask for money, you get advice. If you ask for advice, you get money. And so I like to take this not just into a funding conversation, but also with how—
I love that. Say that again, Lauren. If you ask for money, you get advice. And if you ask for advice, you get money. Yes. Did that like go boom in a lot of your guys' heads? Just give me a thumbs up if it did, because I thought that was like really great advice. Give me a thumbs up if you got that. Sorry, Lauren, carry on.
Oh, of course. Great advice. Great. Let's get the money. But I like to take this approach as well with cold outreach to customers, not just to funders. And so it is not going to work if you send someone an email saying, here's my product, do you want to buy it? No. It's going to work if you go, this is what I'm working on. I'd love to hear from you. Like, let's say I'm selling a software as a service. We'd love to hear from you. What software you're already using? What's your biggest challenge with it? Is this something you might be interested in? Alternatively, ask for 5 minutes of someone's time. Just make it very conversational. You do not sell until probably the second, third minimum interaction, depending on the price of your product. So it can work when you lead with value and when you lead from a place of authentic connection.
I've heard that so many times before, guys. So many of the online gurus, marketing gurus, sales gurus, the people who really know, the coaches, they always say that. So I think it's really important to take note. It's about adding value before you ask for something. And also remember that whatever you're selling is adding value. So focus on that, but add value before you try and get them to make a purchase. It's very, very important. I've also heard that it takes about 7 touch points for sometimes you'll get someone who sees you for the first time and they go, oh, wow, this is amazing. Yes, I'm definitely diving in there. But generally it takes, is it about 7 touch points for people to go, oh yeah, I know who that person is. Okay, let me invest.
Absolutely. So they say it's 7% of people are the type of people who will see something and buy in straight away. This is actually why email marketing is so important, because if you don't do it, then you've paid for 100% of the traffic to come and look at your website or look at your value, and you're only catering, if you try and sell immediately, to 7%. If you offer value, generate that lead, and then nurture the 93%, then you can convert so much better. And you can facilitate it's 7 or 8 interactions. You can facilitate those through an email marketing sequence a lot more easily than you can, and a lot more cheaply than with ongoing Facebook ads, for example.
Amazing. Guys, did you find that helpful? I certainly found it very, very helpful. Give me a thumbs up in the comments below, and please tag anyone you feel would benefit from this. We're living in a time where whether you've got a real physical business or an online business, you need an online presence. And you also need to be engaging with your customers in a really authentic, connected way. And I haven't nurtured email lists. It's the first time I'm attempting to do it. And I already today realized, okay, today I'm going to go and buy a new system, and I'm going to transfer everything over and do it now, because it's still the beginning phases of Thrive. And so it's still the right time to at least start. But if you haven't even started, if you've just got your idea, now is the time to invest in the right platform. And I know that that's often difficult because sometimes you just don't have the finances to do it. But as soon as you do have those extra little bit of finances, or that you can find it, then go and jump into it, because I think it is so important. 100% engaging with people is so important. And I agree that nurturing clientele is an absolute must. Absolutely. Ask for money, get advice. Yes, that touched Anniki's saying, yes, that really stuck in her head. Amazing. Amazing. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm going to thank Lauren as well. Lauren, you do have an upcoming webinar. Do you want to just tell everybody about it before I let you go?
Absolutely. So next week, Tuesday and Wednesday, I'll be running a webinar. It is called From Idea to Income, How to Go from Side Hustle to 6 Figures. And it is outlining the 6 fundamental building blocks that you need to have in place to build a thriving, profitable, and sustainable online business. The blocks are our PAVE model that we've developed within Future Females, and co-created with the entrepreneurs we've supported over the years. It is profit, attraction, visibility, and engagement. Email marketing is something we cover under engagement, so we'll also dig a little deeper into this topic. So Susana will share the link, and I would love to see you guys in there.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. And if you are a part of Thrive, I will email you that link as well. And if you're not a part of Thrive, please just comment below Thrive. It's absolutely free. You can join. And there's so many perks to being a part of the community. So if you're on Facebook, just comment Thrive. It'll activate your Facebook Messenger. If you're on Instagram, because I know we are live streaming to both platforms, go into my bio and click on the link there, and it'll activate your Messenger, your Facebook Messenger system. And both will just guide you through the process of signing up. It's really quick and easy. It'll take you 2 minutes. If you're not on Facebook and you want to sign up, all you need to do is email thrive@susanakennedy.com and we will get you signed up. Lauren, thank you again so much. It's always so brilliant having you with us and sharing your knowledge. It's always so empowering. Thank you so much.
Oh, well, thank you. I always enjoy it. Thanks to everyone who tuned in and shared their questions. Really appreciate the interaction.
Brilliant. Bye for now.
Bye.